And you can't quite see above the crowd, as everyone is quite a bit taller than you are. But you feel like you might be able to maybe ask someone to lift you up or find a place that's higher up, like a light pole or the side of a building, where you might be able to climb up.
Is there like a crate I can stand on top of?
There doesn't seem to be any crepes laying around in particular. It seems like they keep this area pretty clean of any obstructions.
I'm just gonna deal with it.
Okay, so you decide to listen instead of watch.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do is hear anyway. And I assume Calliope is joining.
Mm-hmm.
So you join just maybe 30 seconds after Airly. You're fairly close to the town square. You got a fairly prime real estate where you are. And you experience the same thing. You can start. There's a lot more people. You're starting to get pretty packed in the middle. People are trying to get it fairly close to as fair as possible so they can hear better. The outer edges are, kind of scattered with people who are chit-chatting amongst themselves, not to they don't disturb others. But the middle is starting to get pretty packed. You can still see Farron over most people. Actually, I do believe. What is your height, if you have one?
All the height.
All the height?
Like her character's pretty tall, probably.
Mm,
Do you have a height listed?
my character is 5'11".
5'11". Yeah, you'd be able to see over most people, or about head level with most people anyway. So yeah, you manage to see that. Nothing seems to be going on at the moment. You hear the bells stop tolling. Theodore, you managed to arrive about a minute after the rest of the party, due to your distance from the town square. And as you arrive, you can see that there's almost no room in the town square itself to really move about. The middle and most of the outer ring is pretty packed with people. Everyone's talking. It's gotten quite a bit louder. It's almost hard to hear yourself think here.
Alright.
But you believe that once the meeting starts, you'll be able to hear just fine where you are at the outer ring.
Yeah, I mean, so I assume I have like the painting with me, or like.
You could have set it down at any point.
Yeah, I'll say that like I have the painting on me, I guess, and like
Okay.
my tools are all at home.
Alrighty. You have your
Might
wet
as well try
painting
and
with you,
sell
apparently.
Might as well try and sell this thing while I'm here. A lot of people are here right now.
You take your wet painting and you...
Dripping onto the
Yeah.
floor.
Well, it's not quite dripping, but it is still wet to the touch. And, so you have your
Fucking
painting,
fantastic,
you kind of guard it, making sure no one like leans up against it or brushes against it and messes it up or gets paint on them. And you hear a large handbell ringing like ding, 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 and the crowd seems to feel quiet. There's still some ambient noise as people are still chit-chatting. You can hear the handbell ring again before everyone quiets down. And it's pure quiet. All you hear is the creaking of the wood under Farron's feet. And you see her kind of taking a deep breath and say, well, it seems that our sister town of Belmore was attacked in the night, and some of the smoky stuff you're seeing here is unfortunately a result of that. I'd like all volunteers to come aboard the wagons that we're going to have tonight. They'll be traveling to Belmore in order to... It's not dead yet. Stop that. I killed Belmore.
You deleted it.
I killed Belmore.
What a
Right.
plot twist! Straight up plot twist.
What direction is Belmore? Like, is it the same direction of the woods with the halfling village, or is it away from there?
According to the
I'm
icon,
not-
it varies by about 30 miles.
Is it 30 miles?
Well, you
Wait,
just
what?
moved it like a load. It's a joke.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
2.8 on.
So
On
units.
units-
Oh, I see it. I
So
see
the
it.
units, I failed to describe these. I meant to. Units are days of travel on foot.
Oh, on foot, but this is
On foot.
carriage.
Which
So-
direction
You'll be
is
on
the-
carriage.
Which direction is the woods that I visit?
It's more northerly. like here-ish.
Okay. Oh, that far?
Well, it's not like all the way up. I'm just saying that it's more northerly-ish.
Oh, okay.
Towards the woods.
Into that woods?
And anywho, let me change these to map before you nerds pull some shit.
Whoa.
What happened?
Oh no,
Oh,
no, we
wait, I
can't see
can't
the
put 'em on
names.
map. I can't put them on map.
You just have to trust us, Finn.
I don't trust any of you.
You just have
What?
to
Wait, what?
trust
Why?
us.
Can we move it last? Oh my god.
No, we can't
I'm
move
very,
it.
move.
I'm very trustworthy.
If we draw in
I-
front
none
of
of
it,
you
it's a nightmare because they're icons.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Anywho,
I don't
So
wish
the-
ill upon you.
so you see Farron continue to speak, and she seems pretty distressed at the loss of this town. She's like, the town is not completely destroyed. Don't worry. Your relatives are more than likely safe. They're only mostly injuries. Fortunately, there were almost no deaths. But they will need some assistance in rebuilding. And without our help... Hold on.
Perception. Why did
Oh,
you
sorry.
click perception?
I had somebody that was yelling.
To see if I see Errol sobbing in the ground.
She drops to the grass cries.
But it was attacked by an unknown monster. We have not seen this kind of monster here before. Not that we've ever had any kind of attack, of course. We've thankfully lived in peace, but our sister town of Belmore has not suffered our fate. Our leaders from Cold Break have had us send 3 carriages full of people to help Belmore for just a few days, and they should be back up and running as normal, so trade commences after we're done. Everyone who goes will be paid for their time. Maybe not as well as you'd like, but our coffers are a little bit limited at the moment.
How far away is she from me? Within 30 feet?
About 30 feet, yeah.
I'm gonna creepily mind speak to her and say, how much money we talking?
You see, well, you don't see, but everyone else that's not like a short little squat halfling, sees Farron stop, like, abruptly, so all motion stops. And you see her, like, look around, scanning in the crowd, saying, and she kind of continues a little bit nervously, like, you'll be paid about 10 gold per day that you stay. You can leave at any time, but we do ask that you stay at least 1 day.
I don't know how well known it is that like, you know, there are certain halflings that are creepier than others that just mind speak.
After this, she does lean over to one of the men. You can see that there's 2 men standing right by her. One of them that you recognize as, Savras. Another one is a man that you've not met. He's a fairly young man. He looks fairly well kept. He's quite tall. He looks about 6 foot or more. And it's magic, you dope.
Not magic. She just
Yes,
speak
it
with her
is.
mind a little bit. Perfectly normal, perfectly regular,
If it's
everyday
not something you
mind
can
speak.
do, yeah, no, sorry. Maybe for you, but not for everybody else.
Perfectly normal for me.
Yeah, obviously when tieflings can cast thaumaturgy as a cantrip, it's not a spell, it's an ability.
I like
No,
how
this
we're
one
like,
isn't. This one isn't a cantrip though. That's just she just can speak that way.
what are we, like 15 minutes into the story, and it's already, I speak telepathically to the leader of the town.
Listen, she's a little bit uncomfortable about her real voice. She just speaks telepathically.
Okay.
She just
I
likes doing that.
This is more of a listening, not like an engaging conversation
She's
deal,
got
but
those puberty voice cracks going on. Doesn't want to speak up.
Yeah.
anywho, you see Farron stop talking and speak to Severus briefly before continuing to speak to everyone else. You see her set the handbell in her pocket, in her robes. She says, the carriages will be around tonight if you wish to join. Like I said, you will be compensated for your time, and I would much appreciate it if you did this for both our town, Coldbreak, and Belmore.
I'll yell out from the crowd. I'll ask, do you know what is attacking Belmore?
We do not know yet. Our mage Severus here, and she gestures to the elderly mage. You can see he's in finer robes than, if any of you know him, he's in finer robes than he usually is. This is obviously kind of a more public outing for him, more formal. His robes, instead of being fairly dull gray fabric, are more silky. They have some embroidery that is like gold thread. It looks pretty nice. And he has a nicer hat on, and his beard seems to be combed, and he looks more presentable. Then he gives a curt nod to everyone in the crowd. He's like, we'll be bringing our mage Severus to identify whatever monster attacked, but all we know right now it was some kind of rather large blue insect-type creature. It had these. We've heard that it had these very nasty spines, and it seems to have set fire to a number of the buildings, and it killed quite a few cattle.
Will we be provided a weapon of some sort?
We'll have a complement of guards sent with you. You do not be in danger. We've been rest assured that the town will not be attacked again. After the 3 days, we'll be taking some of the residents from Belmore that lost their homes or otherwise lost family members, and we'll be holding a ceremony in their honor to honor the dead and the injured, and then we'll be having a short festival, so they may have some joy. I will organize the festival. You guys do not need to bring any food or drinks. I will organize everything for you. She takes out this. She takes out this notepad. It seems to be like stacks of kind of like a dry papyrus-like paper, and a large bottle of ink and a pretty nice peacock feather pen. She says, if you are going, I ask that you please mark your name here, and we will have someone escort you to the carriages when they arrive later tonight. And she passes it to Severus. He passes it to the first member that's in front of him. And over the process, he'll sign it, and it'll be passed around. Are there any questions before we begin? And she looks inquisitively around the crowd.
How many cows died?
She looks up at the roof, assuming that you're still up there.
Let's still be up there.
What are you, Peter Pan?
And she looks up and she says, I'm not sure how many cows died. I do believe it was quite a few dozen.
Oh shit, so many cows dead, not like this.
It'll be quite a hit on our trade for a little while until...
Did any belong to Leodor?
Not sure. I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself, whoever that is.
No! Ooh, what you say?
If there's any other questions... And you can see a few people raise their hands and ask about their family members, and she responds that she's not able to confirm the dead yet, as she's just receiving the news now. If there's any questions you wish to ask, now is the time.
Did she say how long we're going to be gone for?
3 days. It'll be 3 days from now, and the last night, like the night of the third day, you'll be transported back.
I'm looking at Banelin's face. Does he look like what is his face looking at like?
Roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Darn.
Oh yeah, you're
My
so
face
short.
is very
you're
small, you know.
Very small,
An
you're very
incredibly small face. Hard to
Incredibly
read.
small. Oh, that's not bad.
That's
for
not
a
bad for disadvantage.
What does your face look like?
He's
You
pretty
look excited.
concerned.
You're gonna go concerned. Okay.
He's pretty concerned. Like you,
About a cow.
I was originally told Leodore was from Lightshire, but that apparently no longer exists. So is Cow Guy in Belmore now, or?
Lightshire. Lightshire? I don't remember that.
It's what you told me. The guy whose cow accidentally killed because it's really windy.
Lightshire? Did it really? I thought I had gotten all the names that I.
Change it to Belmore quickly.
Hey, it's fine if it's Belmore, because then it's like,
It'll be
actually-
Yeah, it's fine if it's Belmore. I don't know. I don't remember saying that. I thought I had gotten all the information I told you guys. I wrote it down, so I guess I missed that part. My apologies.
So I'll change that to Belmore, and then, like,
Okay.
you would know, Airily, that Fainlin did work for a guy in Belmore, and his cows died. That's probably why I was asking about
Yeah, that's
the
what
cows.
I was thinking.
It's
Like,
Wait.
this
okay,
guy's
you
lost
have to
10
let the
cows in the last year. It's like, oh, bad
Oh
news.
no.
You hit me in my vulnerable spot.
The
Wait,
cows.
does Calliope look like she's gonna go? Or what?
You look
Perception
around.
check
you
at
see-
double disadvantage.
How dare you? I'm taller than you by twice.
You look
So
around
what?
and you find the tan-skinned woman. Standing watching. What is her facial feature? I don't know. What is this? What is that?
Facial
question? How is that
expression.
What you
phrased?
looking like?
Expression. How can you describe what she's feeling right now?
Yeah,
based
what do you
on facial
describe?
expression.
She'd probably look a little excited.
Oh,
Excited.
okay.
Fish. Bad news, guys.
Excited to face the monster that killed a bunch of cows and people.
I internally sigh and basically mumble to myself as expected.
Wow. Oh, salty.
I mean, I know her long enough. Let me cold. I'm not savage.
I want to try to find Theo. Do I notice him?
Roll me a. Actually, Theo, roll me a perception. Did you ever roll perception? You didn't. Roll me a perception.
I have equalize. I don't think I need to roll.
That's the
Yeah,
last
That's,
game.
that's your old
You don't
character,
have
you nerd.
equalize this time.
You rolled
Oh,
persuasion.
okay.
You can't be
You
a
can't
monk
pers-
with glasses.
Oh, I rolled
You
persuasion.
Excuse me, person next to me. Have you seen it?
They're the exact same modifier. Shut up.
Yeah, you managed to check out her face pretty easily.
Yeah.
Roll me perception as well, Calliope.
I'm holding a painting. I think that'd be easier. Yeah.
Yeah, you see him quickly with his painting. You notice that this is his new hobby, and you pick him out in the outer ring of the crowd fairly easily. What is your facial expression?
Basically, I'm just like intrigued and like worried. You know that common, oh no, I hope they're all right, sort of expressions right there. You know, it's
Okay.
like the common response of surprise and sadness for the people who have lost their cows.
Darren asks, if there's any last questions. If not, the meeting is over. And you can see people start to disperse pretty quickly, going back to their jobs and duties and such.
Alright, I'll like
th-
quickly seal the bit of roof I was working on so that whilst I'm gone, it's not just a fucking leak.
Just a open roof while it rains.
Like,
No.
it's not done, but it holds it until I get back and it gets
Right, after
finished.
you do some quick work nailing down a tarp, and you seal it with a bit of tar or glue or whatever to make
Watch
sure
out,
that it
Felix,
won't
you
leak.
might kill a cow with that roof.
You don't know my story.
I don't. I just know you're a roof man. Roof.
You're not a dog, so I'm saying roof. Anywho. After about 5 minutes, most of the crowd has dispersed. There's some scattering of people who have still, they're stopping to talk or catch up or what have you. You can see that some people are heading towards a local restaurant just for a bite to eat, since they're over here.
I don't even know where we're supposed to sign. Uh, I don't think she mentioned where we were going to sign up for this, or.
She
What
passed
are you-
around. Originally, she was passing around this papyrus packet of paper, and right now, if you look, you can see that it's currently that Savras is holding it, and he has. You can see he's looking over some of the names and nodding and frowning at some of them, and he's kind of looking it over.
So people, you just write your name in the papyrus, and you get you get sent off to.
You'll be contacted later tonight if you wish to. Part.
Alright. Wait, didn't Calliope walk up to me?
She did.
Alright.
Yeah, I was gonna go up to you and be like, "Hey, old buddy, old pal," and I was gonna like hit you, like playful, but like kind of hard, because I'm mad at you.
Playfully, but I'm mad at you, so it's not really that playful. But so you hit me. I'm like, oh, hi, Calliope. How have you been doing?
Way better now. Look, I finally found a use for your painting stuff. All right, like I'm gonna kill the monster, and you can paint it as a great portrait of me ripping it apart with my bare hands. Does that sound good?
Painting, clap. How good is it, Finn?
So you can see this painting. It overlooks the painting itself. It's kind of like an overlook from a hill, looking down upon the lake. You can see the big oak trees kind of obstruct some of the view. You can see like a bird flying over it. It's fairly well done. This is a painting you'd gladly probably hang up in your home.
Right. I mean, if I can paint something unique and sometime, maybe this thing might work out. Well, let's see if they let me bring some painting tools. I wouldn't want to paint with, well, nothing. So, we'll see. Maybe. I mean, for the good old times as well, right? Maybe get a few hits in there, you know?
Right.
I mean, yeah. So, I'm just gonna put this down somewhere, and I'll sign up like in a few, and then I'll start like walking off just like walking, not awkwardly, just like casually walking back, and like, you know, put down the painting, and I'll sign my name. But as I sign my name, I put like, also, can I bring painter's tools?
How are you signing your name on your painting if you left the painter's tools at home?
No, I mean, not with the painter's tools, but like, you know, you have to write down your name on the papyrus, right, to join.
Right. Oh,
So,
you're.
like,
I'm sorry. I thought you were
I
marking your
put a
name on
note. Can I
the
bring
painting.
my tools with me?
You see Savras look at you, and you can see he says, "You can bring whatever you like. Just as long as you're helping the town. It's not really my concern what you bring."
All right. So yes, I can bring painting stuff. I will paint the landscape of Belmore. In West Belmore, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. Alright. So yeah, I will be there with my painting stuff. I'll probably be painting instead of actually stabbing to anything.
Alright.
That's me done.
So you guys are still out of the town. You can see the streets are a little bit clogged. Well, not clogged, quite. I'd say they're a little bit busier than you'd normally see them due to people, visiting other people downtown they usually wouldn't at this time of day. People going to various shops and such. And everything seemed to be going back to relative normal. There's still some idle chit-chat about Belmore, and you can see some of the people heading towards this message center, where you can see that there's a couple horses stabled. This is where most people send messages to other towns, and the Federation, and
I'm-
you can presume that they're sending messages to Belmore to see if they're safe.
I'm just gonna be standing around waiting for Phelan to eventually get down from his roof.
Yeah, the top's
So-
done, so I'm gonna head down from the roof and hopefully
Yeah,
not die.
After about 15 minutes, you can see Phelan climb back down.
I'm gonna say to him, "What do you make of this?"
Well, it's bad news, of course. We should definitely head there and help. How are you not meant to be at the Kosks?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
How's the cartography going? Is that one there? I can see in your hand. May I look?
I hand
some
it over
scribbles.
reluctantly.
You hand it over and look, and the map you see is not quite the map you were expecting. Instead, you can see the rough outline of some land feature. It looks like it might be the local lake. And you can see that after about halfway through tracing the lake, you can see that there's some wobbliness and some sharp edges that shouldn't be there in the smooth edged lake. And then you can see it kind of given up, and you can see where it's been scrubbed a bit, like in frustration.
Well, it's
Was that
it's certainly
nat
coming
3?
along. We'll put this straight on the fridge when we get home.
Hey,
I
it's like
mean-
a kid. It's like a kid painting.
I can do
Yeah.
better than that. I get so distracted in the city.
Oh, of course you
So
do.
much
and
louder here.
Of course you do.
If you ask Mr. Kosk very nicely, he may let you borrow the tools, and we can maybe practice on the road some.
That's a good idea. I'll go ask him. I'm gonna go run off towards Mr. Kosk.
I'm gonna fold up the map and keep it in my pocket.
Throw it in the trash.
Jesus.
Garbage. Bad job.
Oh my god. I mean, come on. Don't be so mean. She's trying to make a ball. Oh wait, that's the lake.
Like he'd be like full J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. He's like, "This is garbage." Throws it violently at his
This
face.
map is bloody raw.
Because I'm running off to Mr. Kosk.
Shiny map to be put.
Where's the
Wow.
lamb sauce? Anyway,
Where's
This-
the water in this lake? Alright, go for it.
Anywho, so you guys make it back to the cartographers. Finland, are you escorting our little squat halfling?
I'll sign us both up on the thing first, and then
Okay.
follow after her. My legs are 3 times as long as hers, so that should be fine.
Yeah,
Gotta go fast.
pretty easy. You can go snack fast compared to her. Hold on.
Ooh. Spicy Finn with the distractions.
Cast smoke bomb. Super effective.
Sorry, I just got people yelling at me. Trying to get my attention.
Oh, Jesus.
I swear. Pretty much, yeah. Anywho. So you guys sign yourselves up. Is there anyone who did not sign themselves up? I do believe it's Calliope. Have you signed yourself
No,
up?
she definitely signs up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna sign up and then head back to the bar to
to
my
warm up
dad
on some
know
moves.
what's going
Yeah.
on.
Calliope,
Yeah,
you
like pops
head back
now.
to the bar. You're gonna get your father to sign up, or you're gonna have him kind of just tend the bar while you're gone?
Well, he can't walk, so he's gonna stay here.
Jesus. I
Probably.
forgot about
He's
that.
like
I
carrot.
forgot about that fact. Oh, shit.
Alrighty. So, are you assigning anyone to handle the bar while you're gone? Or do you think he can handle it?
He's got it.
Totally, dude. Who needs to walk, right? Here's your gold star, Airly. Anywho. So, night arrives. You can hear people knocking on doors, like going down the street. You can hear that they start on the closest towards the town square, and you can hear people knocking on doors, talking, murmuring, and you can hear people traveling down the streets towards the town square. This
Yeah, I'll
goes for
just
everybody.
I'll just tell Sabella that I'll be going, but I'll just be more like the back line. I'll be like painting and like patching up the people who are like wounded and such and stuff. I won't really be in the front, as I'll try like. Basically, I tell you, I am fine. I'll be fine. I'll do nothing big will probably happen to me.
Who do you tell this to?
Sabella,
Okay.
my wife.
She seems a little bit worried that you're gonna be going off into dangerous territory where a monster's gonna be roaming about hunting people, but she gives you a kiss on the cheek. You can feel where the lipstick has stuck to your face. It's a pretty warm, affectionate kiss, and she gives you a pat in the butt and sends you on your way. Keep in mind, she's a priestess of Sune, or Sune. I'm still not sure which one it is, but
Yeah.
and yeah. Actually, she also, in a moment of forgetfulness, just before you're leaving out the door, she takes a letter from inside her robe and puts it inside your pack, and she says, "Open this if you're ever feeling lonely, lost, or anything else sad."
All right, I will. I'll miss you on those 3 days.
Yes, yes. Be safe. If you're ever in any danger, please run. I do not expect you to fight. I know you're a very brave man, but please do not endanger yourself.
All right.
You're still young and you have many years to live. We have many years to live.
All right.
I,
will.
just realized you're gonna be 80 and she's gonna be still super young. You're gonna die. She's gonna have to live for like 500 more years.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
But I'm a monk, bitch. I become immortal eventually.
If you get to that level.
If you live that long.
If you ever
That's the
become a
thing,
monk.
assumption. I know you're little
If you
zero.
I know,
don't go in
right?
if you don't go in areas where there's killer monsters on the list.
Yeah, if I live to become immortal, then yes, I will live
And then that
long.
would just change the situation. Then you'd have to watch her die.
Wait, do you even
you
become
live on
immortal? Is
forever.
it? I
No,
thought
no,
you
it
just
just
become.
Timeless
I just
body
don't
is what it's called.
age. I just don't physically age, which means like I just
All
die
right.
of old age based off like, I believe it's like the
So
druid thing.
you
where,
look
like,
20 at 500, but you still die
No.
of old age at 500.
No, I believe my lifespan is like times 10, just like a druid does. I believe it's the same
I'm
thing,
gonna go
right?
with
Timeless
We'll,
body.
we'll cover it when it comes, which is probably.
We'll get there when I get there. Okay, yeah.
Which is
it.
never.
The first thing: how do monks with Thomas body die of old age? The first question.
Anywho. Well, that's why the Firebenders attacked the Air Nation. They knew that they'd go AFK up there, and then they just win. But anywho. Yeah. Does anybody want to do anything before they depart? Grab anything?
I'm
Could-
asking.
Bring anything?
Go ahead.
I'll go lock my house up, make sure
Okay.
all the like perishables get put in the freezer, and
Right.
I'll keep the shoddy map for now. He can't bring himself to put it on the fridge.
Oh, okay. Can't bring yourself to put it on the fridge.
Not because it's bad, because he
Keep
wants to
his
keep it
shame.
with him. It's the first map he's been given in 6 years. And she was
That's
reluctant to
6
do it. He
years.
might not get another one. She might pull it down from the fridge out of spite and be like, I don't like it.
I was just gonna go to Mr. Kosk and ask him if I can take the cartographer's tools for some on-the-job training. Gonna be going for a trip. Can be
Roll
doing
me
some
persuasion.
cartography
On my
Roll me
favorite
persuasion
rocket
with
ship.
it.
with a
Hold
double.
on. Roll me persuasion with advantage.
Ooh.
It's like a little kid being like, "Can I please?"
Too bad my charisma
Please,
is 0.
It's fine.
Ooh!
Oh!
In fact, you can have this and this and this too. Right?
He gives you. It gives
And
you like
now you're gonna be paid, apprentice.
He gives you a hard look at first, and you're not sure whether he'll agree or not. And then his face softens into a smile, and he kind of gives you a head rub, and he hands you a pretty small backpack. It fits. It's a little bit big on you, but this is clearly meant to be like a smaller one for a human. And inside, you look and you can see that it contains all the map supplies you'd probably need for quite a long time. He says, I've been preparing this for any adventures you might need. I understand that this is probably something you don't get a lot of gifts or anything expensive, but I wanted you to have something that was yours. So please take this. If you make any maps with it, it's fine. If you don't, also fine. I hope that eventually at one point you learn to love cartography as much as I do. I find you to be a qualified apprentice, even if you haven't quite reached your own yet.
Even if you haven't rolled above a 3 yet, just to be.
It's only your first roll. I'm sure you'll do super better. Pity graduation.
I'm gonna give him a big ol' hug.
He gives you a hug back, and he sends you on your way to the carriages. And he kind of like, as you were, I'm sure you're like running since you're just a kid. But he leans out the door and he says, "Be careful!"
I will.
And you can see him
Creepy
go back in.
She turns to say "I will," trips and eats shit.
Runs right into a light bulb.
The old man is like,
I do that, kid. Jump right up. Didn't hurt.
yeah,
Just for
exactly.
the embarrassment and adrenaline.
Right. Calliope, so I think you've handled yours. Are you just going to the cart after just telling your father, good luck, I hope you don't, like, fall over? If you fall over, there's no, like, emergency button you can hit.
I mean, he's got a dog. It's fine.
Totally, dude. What kind of dog is
Don't
it?
die, or I'll fucking kill you.
He's got a big old mastiff. It's like a
I
Okay.
mean, I'm sure
Not a
Calliope's dad's
dog.
like muscular
You know
as
what I mean.
fuck, right? There's no way he goes down without
What,
a
Joe
fight,
Swanson
even
from
though,
Family Guy?
he
That's
can,
fucked up, man.
he can walk without legs. He just doesn't want to.
Anywho, everybody goes there. Everyone is now at the carts. It's pretty much nighttime. You can see that some of the children who were hired as, like some of the orphan children who were hired on as, gosh, what's the name? Like lighters, I guess you'd call them. They go around with quite a large, or not large, I'm sorry, long pole that has a candle on the end. And you can see them lighting all of the light posts for the night, so that way that you can see where you're going. On the main paths, they've already been done, so that way you could see. But right now, they're just doing some of the side roads and houses and such.
Wait, so we're provided like a weapon, right, and like leather armor as we go, or
No, they said the
No.
guards would cover us.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
sorry.
as
Like,
you
if,
arrive
if,
at
you,
the
if you're
town square-
recruiting people to rebuild a town, you don't arm them to the teeth. Like that's
Yeah, understandable. Have a nice day.
You can see that there's 5 carriages here, 2 with supplies, and 3 that are meant for sitting. They're fairly long. The ones meant for storing people are fairly long, a lot longer than the storage ones. These are meant to hold quite a few people. You can see that they're being drawn by 3 horses. Each one is drawn by 3 horses, and there's 2 drivers in each cart. These carts seem to be they're not like crude, but they're not like super fancy. They're fairly open. They're open tops, but there is a backing so that way you're not like sitting in like some shitty jump seat. They're padded, so they're fairly comfortable, and you can see that there's some like bolted on wooden tables that you can set stuff on, or if you're eating or drinking or whatever. So it's fairly comfortable, but it's not like amazing. Is anybody climbing in?
yeah. I'll sit with Airly the furthest seat we can away from Rapey Tony.
I'll climb in, but like I will like make a remark to Phelan like, "Hey, Phelan," and stuff like that. I'll
Alrighty.
basically greet every person I know in that car.
Did you all get in one cart?
Sounds convenient.
Sounds pretty convenient.
I'm not saying you got it. Like, it's not important story-wise. You can
You
just...
guys
I,
just
I,
have
am,
a
I
lot.
imagine Calliope might see Theo in one, and then maybe be like, "Oh fuck this."
Oh, fuck this. Jump on with him. Yeah.
Spit on the cartwheel.
She's gonna go sit right next to him and like talk about what she wants in her portrait. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll write it down. Like, okay, that's
Imagine
a good
this.
idea.
Blood coming from my mouth. A lion's mane.
I have the biggest sword you've ever seen. It's larger
I'm
than even me.
super swole.
Yeah.
Just glistening like the god.
I paint landscape. This is gonna be a whole new direction.
My pecs look like pumpkins. They're huge. My abs like a cheese grater. Yeah, you guys all climb into your various carts. Like, I don't know if you're all climbing into one or not. It's fine if you don't.
Yeah, because me and Arlie got in first, and we went into one cart away from Rapey Tony, and then
Okay.
Theodore went into
Tony.
our cart because he recognised me, and then Cal was like, "Fuck yeah, let's harass Theodore," and then got next to him.
I'm
Alright.
just gonna spend the whole time talking mind talk to Fainland, showing him my the cartographer's tools in the backpack that I had gotten from Mr. Kosk.
Right.
Oh,
so
you
guys
have a
get there-
backpack. Jealous.
Got a backpack.
You guys get there pretty early. You can see that some of the first carts have been filled already. So like the first cart itself has been filled, and the second cart is starting to fill up. That's about maybe a quarter of the way there. And you guys entered the last cart, the third cart. And you guys are currently the only one there aside from the drivers. You can see that the drivers themselves are, normal people, so to speak, different races. But the second person in the side seat they all seem to be like small children. And you can see that the adults are usually talking to them or directing them, or sometimes you'll see the kids go up and like deal with the horses, make sure everything's checked and nothing's gonna happen or go wrong. Basically just preparing for the journey ahead. You
By
see Farron
deal
step-
with the horses, do you mean like gangster deal with the horses? Or...
Curb
Make 'em
stomping
sleep
the
with
horses.
the fishes.
Oh my god.
I give you enough. You can few. No, they basically they're stroking them, giving them like a quick brush down, checking all the reins, making sure that they're not gonna cut loose, because that would be really bad.
Can't have any freewheeling horses.
No, dude, horses must stay.
Oh,
in
the
the
vacuum
money.
just started.
They're expensive as well. It's like your yearly wages.
Yeah. You can see the horses themselves. These are pretty solid working horses. These are not like riding horses. These are big old thick horses. You feel like they can carry your weight with no problem. Yeah, so night has fallen. It's pretty dark out. It's hard to see very far, even with the lit lanterns. You can hear some chit chat from the first two carts, and you can hear the driver and the child talking. And over the process of about a half hour, all of the carts fill up, including yours. There's some more space in yours. It's not quite completely full. And due to that, you can see Farron come over and says, like, she kind of just she's not quite tall enough to like how do I describe it? She's not quite tall enough to just kind of climb in the cart by herself. So she kind of leans her head against the back and says, "It's all right if I put a few of the orphans in here so they have something to do to make some money." She's looking into everyone in the cart, and you can see that some of the townsfolk is like nodding, like, yeah.
You've already all lumbered me with one orphan. I can't see how more will hurt. I like look at Airly and give her a joking smile so she knows it's not abuse.
You see, Farron gives you a small frown and looks over to Airly, and she says, "Looking very well, dear. How is he treating you?"
He's treating me great.
You see her kind of scoff a bit.
She doesn't like him?
Good
She
work,
wears-
Airly, just as we rehearsed.
she she has a few. She finger waves a few of the kids over. You can see these aren't like kids. These are more like young teens, and they climb into the cart.
Oh no, my
you
peers.
You can see that these don't appear to have much on them. Like one of them has a backpack, and it seems like he's kind of like the leader. You can see there's 4 of them that get on. The tallest one, it seems like the oldest, seems to be kind of in charge with the backpack and some of the tools. And you can see Farron disengages and takes out her large handbell and rings it, and the horses start going. You are now en route.
Did she disengage because the orphans may have taken opportunity attacks?
No, in fact,
You never know with that.
she's an MLG warrior and she uses her bonus action. She's just, it's just precaution.
She's actually secretly a sorcerer rogue at level 20.
Yeah,
She's a swashbuckler. She just auto disengages.
this is true. Underneath her cloak, giving Fainlin a grim look, she exposes a scimitar. She chucks at you.
Oh shit.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Straight through the eye
You can
socket.
throw-
straight through the heart. Roll me a new character.
just another pitiable happenstance in Airly's life.
What the fuck?
So yeah, everyone seems to go quiet. After about like a half hour of riding or so, you guys break through the town pretty quickly and into the woods. And everyone seemed to be kind of like napping or sleeping or whatever. You know this to be let me measure this out exactly. I measured from the edge of one down to another. So yeah, this is gonna be about a day's
2.2
travel.
uns!
It's mostly units. Like they don't have a custom thing to select what you want. It's just like a list, which is weird. I didn't want to do miles because it's stupid. But anyways,
Is Calliope awake or like dead?
I don't think I'm dead.
What?
Are you still terrorizing Theo?
Roll me a medicine check. Are you dead?
Roll medicine to not be dead.
What is
No,
Calliope
you better
dead?
just-
Oh my god! You're never gonna die!
Very alive. This is just gonna make it so the next time she's down, she just auto gets back up.
So
She's very healthy.
But
so as
she's
you're as you're starting to drift off to sleep, you hear some talking to you, and you kind of like you move your head a bit and open your eyes, and you see that Fainlin is talking to you, and you feel your pulse for a second, like
Whoa!
pulse
I
is
went
raised
Super
a bit
Saiyan for a
as
second.
having been woken up kind of abruptly, and you are indeed alive. And you notice that your leg hurts a bit.
You're Jack Cadigan's girl, aren't you?
Yeah.
How is he?
He's doing alright.
I
Business is good.
That's always good. I was wondering if I could meet up with him sometime. My one of my brothers, Dorvake, is looking like he may also succumb to the chair. Oh god, why did I say that? I mean, you know what I mean.
Come to the chair. What the?
He nearly lost a leg in training, and I may have to look at the schematics of your father's chair, or else he'll just be rolling around on the floor. If that's okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
I mean, Calliope is pretty woke right now, guys.
Stop.
And how's the tavern going? Good business as always.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of good fighters.
How's the roof holding up after I raised it?
Well, it's a big story. We always like to tell how good of a job you did with that roof.
I do get quite a lot of custom from it.
Mm-hmm.
High profile jobs always repay the best.
As you say this, you see one of the more elderly men in the cart that you're in, kind of wakes up kind of abruptly, and he says, "Oh, I meant to remind you, Fainlin, but some of the shingles you put on a few years ago seem to have rotted a bit. Not your fault, of course, but if Next time we're in town, I do wish you could repair them with speed.
Sure thing, Tony. Sure thing.
I thought we made an effort not to sit near Tony.
Yeah, I really tried to get away from rapey Tony, but he got on the card anyway.
Well, he's pretty rapey, clingy.
I swapped seats with Airly so that she's further away from him.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make me closer.
Jesus.
I want to get away from him.
I'm trying to be a good dad.
Wait, Calliope is like.
You see Tony.
Like...
You see Tony lean over and says, "How much for the little girl?"
Wait, aren't we just right across them now, basically?
Not for sale. Fortunately.
No, he doesn't say that, but I was just reenacting Blues Brothers. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Am I
at these cars?
Am I at a window seat?
They're all window seats. There's no roof.
Yeah, there's no top.
Oh, there's no roof. Okay, then I'm gonna be.
Yes,
it's like clear there's no top.
It's like the Skyrim prisoner cart, but with cushions.
Yeah, it's spring break. It's spring break. These carts have no tops.
Well, I'm just gonna stay out, looking. Well, okay. I'm gonna be in my seat, looking out the window, seeing if I see Paco around. Keep my eyes peeled for Paco.
Roll me perception. With disadvantage, actually.
Oh, come on, don't do this to me.
I'm just kidding.
You're short.
Hey, it's already pretty low.
It's. I think you've already. Yeah.
With advantage, you mean the 16's right?
Not quite now. With
Okay.
that 8, you look around. You can hear the hooting of various owls of the night. You can hear some wing flaps, but you're not quite sure you hear the sounds of a giant owl.
I'm gonna yell out, but telepathically, Paco! Paco!
What's the range on that?
30 feet.
You hear no response back.
Okay.
Feels bad.
I mean, you tell from the hooting, because normal owls hoot, but Paco toots.
Yeah.
Paco's a very gaseous being.
He can cast mist form at any point.
Lumpy space owl.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes out for him as the travel goes on, as long as nobody's talking to me.
Okay. Make me just a normal perception check, just for the general whole night's watch. If you stay awake.
I can do it. Oh man.
You think you hear the giant flapping of rather large wings, but you're not sure if that's the owl or some other large creature. But either way, you don't see any large owls.
Okay.
Or giant owls, I should say. But you do see one large owl, and that is on Severus's shoulder.
Yeah, that's what's making me miss Paco.
Yeah.
Just dangling right in front of me.
For the night, you can see in the back, if any of you were worried about being ambushed in the night or anything by monsters, you can see that there's some guards in the rear and the forward wagons. You can see they're in light armor, and they appear to have short swords on. So they're not ill-equipped to deal with people. As you're passing by in the night, though, you do... Like, the wagons have to pull over to the side of the road. And it's not much of a side of the road. It kind of slopes a bit roughly. So it's a little bit jarring, and anyone who's asleep is going to wake up. And on the road, you can almost feel the vibrations of this vehicle as it passes. This is a cart that is drawn by 12 horses, like big old horses. You can see it's metallic in nature, so it's probably armored. It's got gold leaf trim on it. There's several guards that you can see. This is kind of like a carriage type design, so there's doors. You can see these doors have some kind of glass window that has like mesh in it, metal mesh. And inside you can see more guards. You can see as it passes by the vibrations from the metal wheels and the horses stamping. Throws you off a bit. But you can assume this is some kind of banker carriage that they use to transport money.
Who's ready for a level 0 heist, boys?
You can see the guards
Not me.
The guards in the carriage seem to be heavily armed. They're all in plate armor. You can see on top of the carriage is in fact a mounted, very heavy crossbow, manned by another guard in full plate. This is for all intents and purposes a tank for D&D.
I'll
boy
nudge
APC
Airly
technically.
and gesture to it. I'll be like, "Look, Airly, you could be a guard in future, or perhaps you could map out the routes that they could take. There's a lot of money in banking."
I'm still all groggy and sleepy. I just woke up. Being out of sorts.
You hear the response that, through reply of becoming a banker, you hear nothing except the yawn and the rubbing of eyes from the young halfling.
It's fine. That's probably more effective than actually telling it to her. It'll like implant itself in a sleep state.
So she'll dream about being a banker.
She just gets the Ocean's 11 theme just plays constantly in her head from now on. That's Hawaii Five-O, you nerd.
Close
How
enough.
wrong can you get?
That's the exact opposite of what Ocean's 11 is. Actually, I think I have the theme, but I'm not going to add it. I'm not going to sidetrack too much.
Alright.
What are the other orphan kids on Rapey Tony up to?
You can see them. You can
Are
see
they here, the orphan kids?
You can see the kids watch the wagon as it passes by, and you can hear them kind of talking excitedly as they seem to be pretty excited that they've never seen one of these rather large carriages in person before. And as it passes by, all the wagons get back on the road, and time proceeds as normal. Or travel, I'm sorry, proceeds as normal.
If I have 45 gold in my inventory, is that just in single gold coins, or can it be split into other coins?
My general rule is that unless I've told you like it's gold coins, then it's split in whatever currency you please.
Okay, can I sort of like lean down the side of the carriage that the wagon just passed and take some copper coins out of my pocket and look at the orphan kids and be like, "Oh, that banking carriage just dropped all these! Quick, have at 'em!" And then I like toss a coin to each of them.
Now, I will say is this before the cart begins moving again?
Well, not off the side, like no. I'm like pretending that they fell off and I picked them up
Oh.
and then giving them to the kid.
Doing this to teenagers.
I'm not trying to suicide the kids off the
I
car.
was like, hold on, the cart's moving.
No, I'm pretending that they
hold
fell
out
off the
some
other
copies.
car and then giving them to them.
They take the copper pieces with pleasure. The oldest in the party kind of gives you like a sly look, like, yeah, sure, bud. But the others seem pretty excited, and you can see them like looking around the coins and like rubbing the face of them to see if they can see if they're new. I assume that you wouldn't get some like shitty coins from a bunch of nobodies.
I assume they're kind of normal coins, like not brand new, but not super old.
Right. They're examining the coins and they're oohing and eyeing, and they put them in the teenager's pack for safekeeping. And the teenager gives you a slight nod as he he goes back to sleep. As he kind of like leans against the back part of the cart.
Ring ring.
Can you hear that? I'm sorry.
Ring,
I don't know why
What
it's so
gave
loud.
you that idea?
It's weird. I'm like,
are you playing the dungeon dice?
there's two phones around me. It's probably like surround sound.
Get the phone!
Demons and daggers.
Did you make my character sheet NPC character sheet?
No, did you?
No, I didn't do anything. I just refreshed my page because I had LastPass still on, so it was lagging. So I just shut it
I
off and
blame
refreshed it.
Rayleigh.
And now it's NPC. I didn't do anything.
What have you done?
I didn't
What
do
have you
nothing.
done?
Change it back. You can change it back. It doesn't
I
affect
love
it.
that Dibble can start and end a sentence with "I did nothing" and still get the question, "What did you
Well,
do?"
I didn't do anything to your sheet. I don't know what the.
I don't know.
Alright, so
Hold
okay,
on.
so don't panic. Just don't change anything while it's an
Don't
NPC.
panic. Everybody calm down.
Alright, so go to the settings again and then look for NPC no, I believe.
Dibble's not the one who has that setting, are they?
Ho ho ho! Vindicated.
What did you even do?
I did nothing.
Oh
Give
no,
us-
so okay, on the bottom right corner of your character sheet, there's a button that says NPC. Click that.
Oh, there is.
The bottom
Very
right.
bottom
Oh,
right.
you hit
PC, NPC.
Oh, there it
Saved
goes.
by Bob Ross. Hey, guess who saved it? Bob Ross. All right.
that. This I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
It doesn't
I
matter.
wasn't
It's
even
okay.
on the settings page.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
not a.
believe
There are no mistakes. Only happy little accidents. Bob Ross saves the day once again. All right. Fixed. Okay, move on. All right, saved, boys. We did it.
Double secret probation.
Oh no!
Do I get inspiration
not.
for saving? Do I get inspiration for saving her character sheet?
No, you lose all inspiration
Oh shit.
for asking.
No. Alright.
All right. So you guys continue on the road. Nothing seems to happen for the night. You always get a fairly decent night's sleep, even though you're rocking a bit from like various potholes and such. In the morning, they stop the carts in a sort of like a clearing for everyone to eat. They stop in it's kind of like a semicircle, and they start up a few campfires, cooking food, eggs, some meat, stuff like that for a hearty breakfast. You're free to get food if you wish. If you wish to eat your rations, if you have any, go for it.
What's the food?
None of us have rations. No background gives rations.
You can always buy rations. You guys
I
have
have a
gold.
rabbit's foot.
Oh, I came from a bar, so I figured I would
Has some like
maybe
bar
brought
peanuts,
food.
chicken wings.
Definitely pack some food, any kind of food. you want.
I'm pretty sure I packed at least 3 days worth of food.
Yes, your wife gave you a doggy bag with some food in it.
Children don't think about those things. I'm just imagining that Fainland. I'm just gonna complain to him.
Phelan,
I'm
feed
hungry.
me.
Fainland is a terrible caretaker. He didn't even bring like PB&J or anything for his little child.
I go to like the breakfast stand and ashamedly buy his breakfast since I didn't pack any food. I moved it
as
all
you-
to the freezer so it didn't perish.
As
That-
you go over to
Phelan-
the rather large rotund cook making some of the food, you notice him as one of the drivers. As you offer some gold for the plate of food, he holds his hand out. And he's like, no, this is on the house. Since you're helping the Federation, we will not be charging you for this.
Oh wow, thank you very much. Thank the man.
Phone
And I give her a
calls.
slight nudge.
Thank you, Mr. Rotund Man.
Not like that!
Kirby.
Oh, alright. I literally only have 3 days worth of ration because we're only gonna be here for 3 days.
So you don't have the 3-day journey back then? You just
What do you mean
starve.
3 days here? We're in total 3 days here.
Yeah, I know, I'm just pulling your leg.
You almost scared me. I was like, holy shit, I have 3 and there's 6 days?
Sorry.
Last game, his father didn't care about him. This game, his wife doesn't care about him.
What? I said that.
Half.
I said that your wife packed food for you.
You were just
No.
joking because I was pretending
Yeah.
it was 3 days there, 3 days back.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Blue was
I
like,
was like-
what?
So yeah. So you have your food packed. As you go up to pay the man, he says, no, it's on the house, and he gives you multiple servings. He gives you 3 plates, in case that we want some extra to kind of keep the line moving. On the plate, it's kind of a basic stone or ceramic plate. It's not got any kind of glossy finish on it, so it's kind of weird to eat on. Usually you're eating on some more advanced silverware, but this works just fine. You have some scrambled eggs. You have what appears to be some kind of almost like
Giant
a
slug.
pork chop. Not quite a giant slug, but it seems like a pork chop. It's a little bit smaller and more spiced. And there's some fruits that you can get. There's lots of stuff to eat. You can see people have brought their own rations that they're eating instead.
I thank him very much and elbow airily to thank him as well.
I already said thank you.
But Finn wasn't here, so it doesn't count.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rotund Man.
Not like that.
Okay.
I shoo her away.
He gives you kind of a frown when you continue serving the people in line.
Alright. While we're on like a break day, like how long are we on the break? Like a few minutes or like?
You're gonna be on break so everyone can eat. It takes about an hour to get everyone fed and, kind of stretch your legs a bit.
Alright. I will calligraphy some just outlines and stuff of what I see at the moment. Just
Click. Okay.
yeah. No, it's not nothing major. Just
So
You're
outlines of
making a
people
map?
eating
You trying to
breakfast.
step on my turf?
No,
I
cartographer,
said calligrapher,
calligraphy.
not cartographer.
I know
I'm
you're
making-
gonna calligraphy.
I would say calligraphy is more of a writing thing, not like a drawing.
Yeah, I'm like drawing symbols and shit. I just wanna make
So you're
make,
practicing your cartography or calligraphy.
calligraphy.
This is gonna be a problem.
I'll make a cool sigil of a lion, so I remember that I'm supposed to make calligraphy look like she's a lion or something in her drawing. Just an FYI for myself. No, I don't do a well lion. Not a good calligrapher.
Your lion seems to come out more as a weird bear. You're not sure what the hell happened, but you feel like you might need to practice with your calligraphy to do some of the harder artistic shapes.
Close enough.
When we get back to the cart, I see it on that table thing in the middle. I'm like, oh, Airily, I didn't know you were sketching whilst you were here. This one's fantastic.
What, for his picture that he
Yeah, and I pick it up and I'm thinking it's yours.
Phelan, I believe that's mine.
Oh. And I
Yeah.
just slowly put it back down.
I
It's
can
fine.
draw one too, though.
Yes, you could. That'd be lovely.
Are you gonna try for it with your cartographer still? Yeah, try and imitate a seven roll of a weird bear-like thing.
What would I roll for that? Wisdom plus
That's not
proficiency,
happy.
which is 0.
Well, you
Yeah.
can use map making tools to draw a lion. You don't have to draw maps.
I know.
Yeah.
It's good.
So-
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you wouldn't.
Hey!
She barely does it.
It's better
Yeah.
than his.
So you're drawing
That's
some
what I
kind
was
of.
going for. I
You're
was
trying to draw a lion, not in calligraphy, but just it's a basic outline of a lion or something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can
You
I hang
managed-
on?
Yes.
Can I draw a dandelion?
You want to draw a dandelion?
I want to draw a dandelion, like a lion as a dandelion.
A dandelion?
Yep.
Yeah, you managed to do that. It looks a bit odd. At first, the perspective is a little bit weird, but it seems like this is a pretty neat thing. You can see that there's a stem of a flower, and it turns in. The mane itself is made of flower petals, and the face, instead of being the bright yellow petals of the flower, is in fact the snarling face of a lion. Looks pretty neat. This is definitely much better than your attempts, Theo, at making a lion with the calligraphy.
Let's say it's like the first one. It's just like that one. It's very well done. Someone who's very skilled drew that. And that's how it is.
Sure.
So they got the skills.
I'll have you know I drew a nat 20 mountain or a valley or whatever.
You're gonna keep bringing that up for the entire game.
Have you brought that painting with you on the cart?
What?
Yeah, I'll remember it. The only time I'll roll a nat 20 on a painting.
Did you keep that painting on the cart, or did you leave it at home?
No, of course not. I hanged it on my wall.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
Hung it on your wall?
No, he hangs
Okay.
it. He already
Did
said
you hang it painting side out or painting side in?
Inside? Oh my god.
I think you need to do an intelligence roll for that.
Oh wow!
To know which way you did it.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to hang a painting.
You don't know. You
Because
might
it
not
was still
know.
wet as
I
well.
have
It's
a
just
modifier of one
on the wall.
intelligence. I know what I'm doing.
Alright,
I don't know.
so you can see there's some of the orphans seem to be playing catch with a stone discus and having fun.
Is there
You can see
enchanted
there-
not to hurt people?
Yeah, they seem to be catching it without hurting their little fingers. And yeah, everyone seems to be kind of chilling out. Some of the people are laying on blankets or that they brought just for laying down, having like a small picnic. Seems peaceful. Is there anything else you wanted to do here?
Well, Erily, are you going to keep your painting, or should we get it framed, or?
How much would it cost to get framed?
I could make us a basic frame.
So let's get it framed. Hang on, is it colored in? It's not colored in, right? This is just. I'm not gonna have coloring.
Color it in at your own leisure.
I'll color it in. Let me. It's not done yet. It's just. I just have the outline. I still have to color it in.
All right, color it in if you wish. Make me another check.
Does she not get proficiency bonus?
Well, I don't have any proficiency
I
bonus. I'm
wouldn't
level
say
0.
so. I wouldn't say proficient. I don't think you get the +2 from the tool. But yeah, that's a 15 is fine. You managed to color it in. Use some of the dyes and pencils from the backpack, and color it. The stem is a nice, bright, vibrant green. The dandelion is colored so it looks both like a lion's fur, but also a petal. Looks quite nice. This looks like it doesn't look like a child portrait. It looks more like someone intentionally drew this that was pretty skilled.
This was definitely on purpose.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm just gonna color while I'm eating my food.
Okay.
I offer one of the spare plates we have to Calliope.
Oh.
Calliope, you are offered a plate of food. Breakfast food, to be exact.
All right, I'll eat it. Do they have any beer?
You can see that there's a fairly small keg, and I mean like pretty small. Like you could just carry it over your shoulder, easy peasy. That you see some of the guards drinking from.
Well, I'm gonna go get me some.
Okay. Do you have a mug or anything?
She has a mouth.
Is that?
Thank you.
So you're gonna head over to the guards and like speak to them?
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach some of the guards, they don't seem to notice you quite at first, so you're heading directly at them. And then once you're about 15 feet away, they take notice of you and stiffen their posture quite a bit. And one of them puts his hand on his sword just as a precaution. You can see there's 3 guards here, and they're all seem to be drinking from this keg. It's not like on the ground, it's kind of like a stand that seems to be meant for it. It's like a little travel thing. And one of the lead ones, you can see he has kind of a gruff beard. He seems to be older than the other 2. He seems to be maybe early middle-aged. You see he has some wrinkles on his face. He has a nice tan. His beard seems to have it's not quite like elegant. Like it seems like he's been trying to grow it for a while, but just never filled in quite as completely as he wanted. And it's got some white bits in there from his, telling his age. And he says to you, "What can I do you for?"
Are they all dudes?
They are all dudes. The 3 people
Okay.
here are.
I'm gonna be like, hey boys, you wanna give me some of that drink you got there?
They all look at each other. Roll persuasion.
With advantage for that masterful flirting? Come on.
No, not quite.
I don't think she's the type to flirt. Really, I really don't.
They give you a look and
I
they're
should
like,
know.
"Why should
She just
we
didn't
share
like
this?
you. That's why she never let you
Why
flirt
should
with her.
we share our private reserve with
She's
you?"
more of the intimidate type.
Shh, hush. Why should we reserve our private reserve for... I'm sorry. Why should we share our private reserve with you?
I mean, it's only polite to share with such a fine lady as me. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
They look... You can see the man look you up and down, and he's... You look more like a fighter than a fine lady.
Oh,
Oh,
Dear.
I see. You're just a little. You're afraid I'll out drink you. It's fine. I understand. I'll leave.
You can see him furrow his brows. Roll me persuasion with advantage. Oof. Not rolling too well in the persuasion
I'm so
front, are
rooting
you?
for you. I'm rooting for you so hard.
I told you
You're doing
guys,
so
she's
poorly.
not the type to persuade people. She's the type to be like, yo, give me that bottle.
10,
What's your-
10 is average. 10 is
I know.
average.
You see the guard furrow his brows somehow more. Like you can see his brows are basically like a right angle at this point. Like he's almost grimacing at you, and he takes one of the stone mugs that's sitting on top of the tankard and fills it up for you and hands it over, and he says, "I'll let you have this one, but just don't cause any trouble."
You got it, and I'm gonna down it all in one go.
You sit there and you just gulp. Are you doing like the open throat thing where you just like drink the entire beer in like a matter of like a second or two? Or are you
Yeah.
just like gulping it?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh,
So you finish it, they all kind of give you a look like, what? And you see the man says, "You're most definitely not a fine lady, but you seem pretty talented. I'll respect that."
Respect.
well, I appreciate it, and I'll hand him back the glass, and I'll leave.
He takes the glass and he's kind of gives it a look. Like he looks inside like, what the fuck? Like making sure the beer's actually gone. He doesn't believe it.
She used
And he
magic.
sets it back on top of the tankard. And you see if you look back, you can see that the three men are kind of just talking to themselves and pointing to you a bit, like, holy shit, like,
What the fuck?
You're saying that?
I say you're not shit, boys. Holy crap. So after your fooling around is done, if there's anything you wish to do, you may say so now. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap up this particular adventure, or this particular scene. I'm sorry.
Campaign over.
Good campaign,
over.
guys.
Campaign over.
Thank you, Finn, for hosting. This was a pleasure.
Calliope drank the beer of the universe, and then in fact becomes a god. Congratulations. How did you know?
All of your plans for the entire campaign was just hinged upon that beer.
Yeah, man. This is what
Now
happens
they're
when you're a
all
bad
just-
DM. So yes, you can see you can hear someone ring a kind of like a smallish handbell, and you're told to get back into the carts so travel can continue.
Okay, I carefully round up the people I was sat with, i.e. Erily, Calliope, and Theo, and I get into a caravan that doesn't have Rapey Tony in it.
Okay, so you get in the second caravan, or second carriage rather. You can see Rapey Tony looks over at all the women having left, and you can see that the carriage is full, and he just shrugs.
Gonna have to institute women-only carriages.
And travel is underway. All
Can I
the
do
com-
another look-see
Yes.
for Paco?
You may.
Okay. Hey!
Hold on, let me look up this stat. Ooh, wow, okay. That's more than I thought it would be.
Monkaz?
Oh, wow. So you do manage to see him. And you can see him kind of off in the distance. He seems like he's been tracking you a bit.
Woo!
Keeping it... It's hard to... You know it's him, but it's hard to... You're not 100% sure. but you're pretty sure that the flying shape off in the distance is him. He seems
gonna
like he's
wave at
over the. It seems like it's over the treetops. As you wave at it, you can see the shape dip down into the trees.
Okay. My
And your
mind is at
vision
ease.
Yeah. All right. So you guys continue along. After it reaches about afternoon, you guys are in fact in Belmore. As you reach the town, the carriages kind of stop at the edge of the town, and you can see one of the guards brings out a spyglass and inspects the town for a few minutes, and then puts it away, and the carts continue into the center of the town. Here you can see that the town, once the carriages stop, you get a look around the town. You can see that there's been obvious fire damage. You can see large footprints. It seems like there's a lot of footprints for whatever it was, like a single monster. And these are not quite the footprints you'd think of when you hear of a monster. These are they're pretty small, more like bird-like. Whatever feet or whatever this thing has, they seem to be pretty small. You can see where fences have been torn apart, cattle killed. But you see some people who are already like harvesting the cattle's bodies and putting them on the carts. There's some people who are kind of talking as the carts approach, and once the carts stop, you can see the people approach the carts, and they begin to speak with the lead cart driver, and the carts pull up a little bit more to what you see to be a pretty burned out area. The fences are all burned out. The grass seems to be big patches burned out. Where it's not burned out, it's stamped down completely. And you can still kind of feel the heat emanating from the embers of the various houses and such that are around. Most of the stone foundations are still in existence, but all the lumber and such is just a mess. It's collapsed in on itself. All the roofs that were like made of pitch or whatever are just burned away. There's some small remaining portions of houses. You can see one that was partially burned, but it looks like it managed to be saved. There's some more houses off in the distance that you see did manage to be saved. You can see the houses aren't typically arranged as you see in Wolfwater. These are not town-like houses. These are more individual houses that are scattered about in the countryside. Usually each house has one or two fields dedicated to it. You can see some of the houses have crops that have been burned away. However, you do notice one particular field of it looks like wheatgrass of some sort has survived, mostly intact. Yeah. So this place looks pretty devastated.
Does the you said there were like these bird-like imprints on the floor, like tracks, right?
Yes.
Do they look familiar? Anything I've ever seen out in the wilderness before?
Roll me nature.
Showa. Hey.
No.
Okay.
No, it does not. If anybody else wishes to check the footprints, you may. There's plenty of them around. There's a good reason why you might want to check them out.
I just want to see how big they are, like how sizable of a foot would fit this.
So they look like they're kind of like imagine like a V shape with your fingers. Like if you use your index finger and your middle finger to form a V, that's kind of what they look like. They're about that size, each one of them, and there's lots of them scattered about.
Wait, they're the size of two fingers?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, so they're
Two
fucking
normal human
chicken
fingers.
prints then, right? Like,
kind of like
Bigger
chicken
than that,
prints.
or smaller than that, I think.
Kind of. They're kind of like that. You can see that they have kind of like sharp imprints, so they're not like just flat as you would see like bird imprints. These are more sharp, whatever these feet or claws or whatever they are. It seems like they were more meant for cutting than like footedness. More like pincer like.
Like
can I see any buildings that are like burnt down or just ruined?
Yeah, there's one right next to you, about maybe 50 feet away, that's been burned out completely. You can see like the smoldering lumber is still like crumbled within the stone foundation. There's some items that seem to have been pulled from the fire that are burned up, or some of the metal objects you can see have like a big coating of ash on them, but seem undamaged for the most part. So this wasn't
Can
hot
I
enough to melt.
see the people that look like they maybe own it or stayed there before?
You seem to be the 5 people that are now talking to the lead carriage driver.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're busy, then I'll just sort of head over to the house, and I can make temporary shelters with my carpenter's tools that'll last 1d3 days. But it's a roof, and it's better than nothing, so I'll start setting one of those up.
You feel like you'd have to clear out the smoldering lumber and stuff that's been collapsed in.
Well, I'll do it next to it. Like, I'm not going to
Oh,
rebuild
okay.
the house. I'm just going to, like, pop it next to it.
All right.
It's going to
So
take
you
a few
use-
hours anyway.
Yeah, so you take up some time, you bring out your kit, you harvest some wood from one of the carriages that has brought resources, and yeah, you begin to work on that. Everyone else, what are you doing?
You said that there was like cow carcasses, like dead ones.
Yes.
Well, can I look at them? Like, just take a look at one of them and just see. I don't know. What's the injuries look like? What does it look like? It was ripped apart, clawed at, bitten.
This looks like it was ripped apart. You can see some of the similar imprints that you see in the ground on the body, but for the most part, the main injuries seem to be sustained from large bites. These aren't like human bites; these are more monster-like, big jagged edges.
Okay.
Interesting.
Can I look at the bite marks and see if it looks like anything I've seen out in nature?
Go for it.
Hey.
Okay. This is something you've seen, but you're not sure what it is.
Okay.
Legend tells that this is a great beast. Like your people have encountered them before, as part of like a myth or a legend, and they seem to be creatures that are of great evil. They seem to be simultaneously cold and hot. They can seem to they're the embodiment of cold. They live up in the mountains, but they seem to have some kind of heat element to keep themselves warm. And
They're-
they're described as a serpent-like creature, but you're not too familiar with what exactly it is, and as you never really got a direct account of it, you've only heard it in passing.
Okay. Well, Phelan is out there building temporary shelters. I'm just gonna relay this to him.
Can I identify if like how fresh this is with a survival check? Maybe like
Sure.
okay, like how long has this been dead or stuff like that?
It seems to have been 24 hours or more. So it seems to be about in line with what you were told originally.
All right.
After I relay that to Phelan, I was just gonna look around and try and like scavenge for just little foods that we can have to add to. Well, I guess they brought food, didn't they? They probably don't need it. I'm gonna ask if it's necessary, and if it is, then I'll do that. If not, then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You're told that it's not necessary for you to get any food. There's plenty of food here and brought with them.
Okay, I'll just make notes of the terrain, see if I can map it out. Then I don't know what else
Right.
to do. Is there any way to like have something you can click on your sheet just to roll cartographer's tools?
Yeah, you can make a tool.
Well, yeah.
If you go on edit mode, underneath the list of tools, there should be a little add button, right?
That says generate skill, and then just add a skill.
No, you don't want... No, generate skills will just create the 18 base skills, which will give you 36 skills, because you'll have 2 histories, 2 insights.
Oh, right. No, click
Wait, you
on
want to click add, yeah. And then you type out cartographer's tools, and you click that you're proficient, and you set the stat to wisdom or whatever.
Okay, where is am I clicking add at exactly?
So turn the yellow pencil on.
Yep.
And then just at the bottom of the list of skills, there should just be the add button on the left.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Because I've made these bad boys.
Okay.
I'll just assume those are your roles for construction and all that stuff. Any construction that you're doing.
So we're having it based on wisdom, yeah? That's what I've been doing.
For you, yeah, for map making, I'm gonna say wisdom for the most part.
Okay.
Some of the more manual stuff is dexterity.
Hey, do I have one? Probably not. That's too future. Never mind. I was gonna ask those cool things that it's like a stick with like a circle at the bottom, and you walk around with it, and it measures the distance. We'll use it for cartography.
Right. I know what you're talking about. You don't seem to have one of those. You've been taught to kind of eye things.
I can make you one. They're only 2 fucking pieces of stick, like, put together.
Yeah, but it rolls and measures the like distance you walk with it.
It'd be some time-consuming work to make, because the what you're actually rolling either has to be measured itself, like have measurements on it, like a kind of like a tape measure, or you have to have some kind of device that would be able to calculate and show distance.
You could achieve the same thing with a compass and just like walk it.
Yeah, I mean,
a compass and a ruler would work.
You've been taught how to kind of measure things out using your feet. You know about the size of your foot. Like, I don't know how big a foot would be for you. Maybe like 3 or 4 inches, something like that.
Foot, get it? 'Cause she's 3 feet.
But halflings have pretty big feet, don't they?
I don't know, dude. I don't know anything about halflings.
You're not a hobbit. You're a halfling.
Yeah.
I know, but halflings still have big feet, though.
Do
Well,
they?
I'm not sure. I'm just going off character art I've seen. They seem strong with big feet.
You don't want your feet to be too big, or else you'll be 50% feet.
True.
Always a constant balance. What is Dulcimer? What is it based on? Charisma we're using? That's performance?
Yes.
Or dex?
Performance.
Okay.
Are you gonna
How
cast
long
it, or
ago
what are you
was-
doing? You just
Oh,
making
sorry,
it?
I completely forgot I was doing that. Okay, there we are.
Alright, so you're mapping the general terrain of this area?
Yeah.
You seem to get a pretty good basis for it. It's not colored in yet or anything, but it is outlined fairly well. You know some of the major hills and such.
Okay.
What about an updated town map? Now that
Updated
half
town
the
map?
stuff's gone.
No, you don't get that. Die.
Whoa.
Stream.
お前はもう死んでいる。Let's see. I really don't.
Wow.
May I invest like there's like open houses, right? Or like what's it say? So we've made it, but like we don't. There are people, or I don't remember.
What are you asking me?
Like I was about to investigate to see like if there's any like people, or I don't remember if there were people or not.
Like locals?
Yeah, the locals, are they around or?
The locals are around, yeah. You see them cleaning up different houses. It seems like their families are kind of responsible for their own houses. You can see them hauling away timber with using gloves and such to make sure they don't burn themselves.
I'll investigate to see if it's like a if they use like a sword or something, or like a bite. I mean, from the cow, I can assume it's a bite. So, like
What? What?
Right?
What are you investigating the house?
I'm investigating like the general areas where like it went to. Like, does it look like it used claws or?
It looks like it used a combination of claws and teeth.
Ah, okay. So
And fire.
And fire.
And fire.
and fire. Fuck. I don't get that until level 3. Shit.
But you don't know that.
I don't know that. Yeah, I
Your
don't know
character
that.
has no idea what they get.
Let me get silver bullets, guys. We need silver bullets to deal with this.
Jesus.
Alright.
Can I check the tracks and just see what direction the creatures seem to have went?
Roll me survival.
Yep.
I got
No.
survival. I can do. I'll give her assistance.
Okay. Roll with
I will be
advantage.
assisted. Woo, thank you.
Roll.
for
With
the
a 17, you notice if you follow the tracks, how far are you following them? Like all throughout the town? Or what?
All throughout the town, but it won't leave the town. I just want to see what
Okay.
direction it went to exit the town.
Oh, so you can see that it came in from relatively where you are now. It came in from about the southwest corner. Oh, I'm sorry, southeast. And it seems like it left towards the northeast. So it got about half the town and left like one of the other halves kind of alone once it found what it wanted. And you can see that the tracks are kind of hard to follow due to how many footprints are left. It leaves kind of like a snake-like pattern, as you would see in like sand or something like that.
Okay.
You can see it stopping and backtracking a bit when it wants to attack something. When it goes up the houses, you can see that it doesn't actually seem to attack the house. You can see large scrapes where there's still wood. And then the fire seems to have spread from that.
Okay. And what direction did it exit the town from? It came in from the northeast.
Northeast. It came in from the southeast, left the northeast.
Okay.
Didn't they say it came from the mountains though, or some shit? Or the legend that Airly said they're supposed to be from mountains, but it came from the south.
Yep.
Are there any mountains to the south?
Nope.
Alright, so her stories are full of shit then.
Are they?
Just like her dad.
Wow!
So your
hard
true
burn
feelings
out
come out now.
No wonder he treats her like garbage.
Hey, I had a lot of money invested into that cult. No,
Jesus
Can we take like a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Yeah, we need Lydia
5 minute
back
break.
anyway.
That is so
What a
funny.
troll.
I was about to head off for like 30 seconds to refill my water bottle.
I'll give you another minute.
I was going through the break eating my chips, and once I finished eating my chips, I was like, oh, drink water bottle, it's empty. Well, I have to go out now.
It's everybody else here though.
I'm here.
Don't tell me all at once, Grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching
I'm
some kids
here.
play with a
Lydia.
slinky, but I'm here.
You're drinking tea.
I'm
You
out
forget
of
about your tea?
I'm out of tea.
Uh-oh.
What kind of tea do you drink?
Earl Grey.
Oh, it's boring.
Oh, wow. Okay. Calm yourself,
You
Devil.
should feel ashamed. No, I
Calm
think
yourself.
Earl Grey is fine. I just don't really like caffeinated tea.
That's the whole point of drinking tea, though.
I know. I can't handle caffeine. It makes me too hyper.
This is when you're not hyper?
Yeah. That's the
Wow.
problem, is when I drink coffee, I talk way faster, and I already talk too fast. So I can't do it.
Same.
You become a
Coffee, tea,
rapper?
Caffeine.
You become like the Eminem where he does that whole, God, what is that? I'm gonna get...
Rap God?
Yeah, Rap God thing. I like the GIF for that. Rap God GIF.
Back when I lived in Tennessee, it was worse because people in Tennessee talk really, really slow, and they're just not. I think people in New England generally talk faster. Just in my experience, New Englanders talk fast, and I'm a New Englander in that aspect because I talk very fast. And when I was living in Tennessee, I swear half the people I talked to couldn't understand me. Had to learn to slow it down a little bit. Opening candy wrappers.
I'm eating oyster cracker. Well, I haven't had anything to eat really today, so I was just eating a snack.
Jesus, Finn, get on a real diet.
We're on break anyway, so...
Oh, I haven't eaten today, but there's a chocolate bar.
Hey, it helps my creativity juices flow, you know?
What starvation?
Chocolate!
Oyster crackers soup. But I call it oyster crackers.
Chocolate. Lydia, we learned it was like some giant fire-breathing insect.
What? You start talking as soon as I press play on the video.
Oh. I was just
Do
telling
you know what I'm
Lydia
describing, Grass?
what we learned. No.
Okay. I figured you wouldn't. This is a pretty obscure thing I had never heard of, so I was like, this is a great monster to pick.
If it's from the monster manual, I'll have no idea because I've never used the monster manual monster in my life.
Me either.
Oh, good.
I try not to. This is the one time I'm using it just because I think it's a cool monster. I don't think you guys will combat it. I hope not. But you don't really have time for it anyway.
Hint.
Do I have a hand axe?
I hope you
You have a hand
level
axe.
0, guys.
Dude, a hand axe is perfect, dude. That's just one weakness. Trust me. I'm a trustful person. You can trust me.
Yeah,
Trustful.
honestly. Trust the DM, guys.
Totally, dude. I would never betray your trust.
Uh-huh.
So, I assume
call.
everyone's back, or is Lydia getting tea? I think Lydia wants tea. Oh no, she's back.
I
She
didn't know
didn't
I
get
had
tea.
time to get tea.
Well, we
We have
don't.
time to
That's
get
why I
to
was
you now. Go,
hoping
go,
you
go, go, go!
Run, run,
No!
Run!
Wait,
Run!
no.
Go get the tea!
Run!
Do it!
Run before you can sleep in.
before it's too late.
I am before the next 45 minutes. You're just people going off to do random activities.
And then
Dude.
once one person finishes,
I gotta do jumping jacks, guys.
Oh shit! I do need to do jumping jacks.
I forgot the
I
Price
mean,
is
I can
Right
just
is on
drop-
TV. I gotta watch it.
I don't have to go away to do jumping jacks.
Anywho. We'll continue. So, was there anybody? I believe it was. We left off with. Was it Blue that was searching one of the houses for marks of the monster?
Yeah.
Well, if do you remember what I told you found?
I don't believe so.
So what you found was when you investigated the house, you found that they had these weird scrapes along the areas that got the most burned, and from there it seemed like the fire emanated. It seems like it spread from those,
Hmm.
whatever strikes they were, whether they were claws, spikes, horns. You don't know.
Interesting. Wait, so is Savras nearby?
It's not like super nearby. You went off about maybe 100 feet to go look at the nearest house that was mostly intact.
I'll walk up to him and ask him. Do we know if this creature will come back anytime soon?
He holds his hands up in a gesture of surrender. He says, "Well, I can't be sure when it'll be back, but it seems like it's gotten what it wanted from this town. I hope it will not come back. Hope it won't attack our town either. It will mark the first monster attack we've ever had."
So we'll be staying here for another day, just to make sure nothing happens.
We'll be staying here 2 more days,
All right.
but you can leave at any. You may leave at any point you desire, but the main carriages will be staying here for 3 days.
I understand. And then I'll go away. It's like nighttime, like super evening, right? Or
It's late afternoon, so you can see that the sun is starting to set. The sun is still full in the sky, but it is starting to set. There's kind of an orange glow to the environment.
All right.
I'm gonna try and find those guards that what's her name? Calliope was talking to earlier. And I was just gonna show them the map and like use it to sort of point out where it was that I tracked the tracks and suggest that maybe there should be some guards up here where the creature last exited.
As you show them your picture, before you even get to speak, you can see one of the guards. It seems like a younger male, like late 20s. Says, "That is a very pretty portrait," and gives you like a nice head rub. And it seems like the guards go back to doing whatever they were doing before.
I'm just gonna barrel forward. I'm used to this. Barrel forward, mind speech, creep him out.
You're doing what now?
And you wonder why you have no friends.
I wonder why you have no social skills
Now,
whatsoever.
tell me what you're doing.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So over here, this is where I saw the creature go. It went around this way, then it came up this way, and point and
All
talk,
of the
but
characters
but
have zero social
telepathically.
Telepathically.
Yeah, telepathically.
Are you sure?
I'm sure listen, it was a personality trait. It shows I didn't think it was a wrong thing until you're bringing it up all the time now.
I mean, okay.
Oh my gosh, this is bad news.
Why, little
So,
girl,
as you
why?
speak telepathically,
Yep.
before you get more than about 5 words out, the guards look down at you fairly menacingly. And they say, you can see the leader of the party with the gruff beard looks down at you and he says, "What do you think you're doing?"
I'm trying to show you what I found. I'm over here to help. I'm using my skills to try and help out.
The beast is no longer here. We don't need to track it any further. Tracking it would only get more people killed.
I'm not asking to track it. I'm saying this is where it went. So maybe the guard should be posted there so it doesn't come back into town. If it left from that part of the town, most likely it'll come back from that part of town.
Kid, do me a favor. Don't use your magic on me or my men again.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Suit yourself. Walking away.
You can see all 3 of them stare at you pretty intently as you depart. And after you get to about 60 feet away, they'll turn back and continue talking.
I so badly want to say something telepathically, but I'm like,
Hey man, it's a sandbox world. What could go wrong?
I know.
Do it. Actually, no, don't do it, please.
Just so
Do
like
it.
jumps to go away.
What could go wrong? Do it. Totally. Experiment.
No, I'm not gonna.
It's only a character.
Okay, who is within visual distance from me? None of those guys, like other than that.
You can see Savras and some of the other people that came along on the cart are talking about what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm just walking away.
I'm kind of, okay, where are you walking to?
I'll see what Phelan's doing.
Okay, you can see him close by near the house that was completely burned down. No more than about 50 feet from the cart on the right side. You can see him, he's got all of his tools spread out on a nice little tarp. And he seems to be building some kind of structure, it seems like. It's hard to tell.
Need any help?
Yes, please. I dropped the hammer a couple seconds ago. Could you just toss it back up to me, please?
I'll get it and I'll give it a good old toss.
Oh, thank you. How's the cartographing going? You got a little city map? Any hills? Any lakes?
Yeah, I mapped out the area. I tried to show it to the guards to help out, and they're just... I don't think like me very much.
That's unfortunate. No.
I finished the map, though. Could show it to
Oh,
him.
fantastic! And I look down and almost fall off my ladder as I arch to see it. Oh!
Oh, I tracked the creature, too. Not outside town, but I know where...
don't leave town. Don't follow it. That's...
I know.
Good, fantastic work. You may become a trapper yet. My father could teach you a few things if you want to hunt animals. Do spend a lot of time in the woods. Have you found either of the other 2? Let's see what they're up to.
The other 2?
The 2 we
Oh, the
travelled
people
with.
that shared the cart with us. I haven't
Yes.
seen them.
You'll probably
Jack
see me
Cardigan's
painting at like the edge of the town, like painting the sunset as it goes by, and you just see me like speed paint sunset basically.
Just talking to no one about happy little bush and happy little cloud.
Dude, I rolled a 22 for this painting. This is a god tier sunset that's quick drawn.
Well,
You did it
there's
again?
Theo up on that hill drawing the sunset. He's probably the best artist back in Wolfward, so if you wanted to learn a few tricks from him, just
know.
whatever you do,
His-
stay away from Tony.
I don't know what I could learn from him. His lion wasn't that impressive. Mine was way better.
Well, his lack of lion skills are made up for with his skills of landscapes.
I mean, yeah, you can probably see from the distance, like my painting literally glowing orange.
Give him a landscape, he can do it. Any like an object, a vase, a lion, something like that, he'll struggle. But if it's in front of him and it's on a large scale, he's quite good.
I'll have to take your word for it. Well, it doesn't seem like they really want our help. I'm not sure what they expect us to do here.
Have you spoke to any of the locals? See what you might be able to offer for them?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll just walk away.
Stay away from Tony!
I will.
Atta girl.
Alright, Calliope, what are you doing?
I want to talk to people and get a description of what this monster was.
Okay. Trying to decide if I want to make you roll for something. I don't think it's super necessary. Yeah, I'll just let you talk. So you talk to a few people. It takes about an hour to get a decent description of the creature due to so many people were in shock or just were running for their lives. Never even saw the monster. You put together that this creature is a very long, slender, insect-like creature. It's colored blue, but it has these very red spikes running along only the top, all the way from tail to head. It seems to have some kind of hood, similar like a hooded snake, towards the top near its head. And yeah, it seems to be like a really nasty. Seems to be a really nasty insect that very large, like very large. It seems to be about 20 feet long. I'm sorry, 40 feet long. And has, instead of what you normally see in insects, like a normal carapace, it has more of a scaly body similar to a snake. So these scales are a lot larger, more plate-like. The number of legs range in the dozens. You can see that that's reflected in the number of tracks that you're seeing by looking around. It had big old long antenna, 2 long ones on the top, 2 short ones on the bottom, and its teeth looked like they were razor sharp. It had big old bug eyes. It had a very aggressive nature, and if it saw anybody, they were killed. Most of the cattle were killed for food. It seemed like there were big bites taken out of them.
Yeah, I know what this creature is, but I don't know in-game stuff. I'm just gonna be Monkaz the entire game. Meanwhile, Theo is like speed painting the fucking sunset like a boss. But
Hey
yeah.
guys, can you help us rebuild the town and then just you're there painting?
Wait, who are you saying?
We're supposed to be help. We were brought here. We're being paid to help them out. Aren't we?
You're talking to me? I'm sorry, I thought you were... I was like... as I'm painting and I finish it off, I said, oh yes, of course. No, sorry. I just wanted to capture the sunset before nightfall. I'll see what I can do. Can I do anything to help the town? Do I roll anything for that? I am but simple Bob Ross. So...
Well, what are you gonna do to help? You don't just roll to help.
Roll to help. No, I am gonna like fix up some of the like the messed up like front porch. Like I'll help lift some stuff, help move some stuff. I'm pretty dexterous, so maybe I'll like help with a more accurate. I don't know what that term for that is, but like
When asked what you could help with, a lot of the people need help moving the smoldering rubbish out of the houses so they can rebuild from scratch from the stone foundations. If you want to do that, I'm gonna ask you roll me a strength check.
Luckily, I'm not bad at anything.
Cool. So yeah, you managed to pull quite a bit of rubbish out. They appreciate the help. Within about an hour, you managed to clear out the majority of one of the larger houses. It's you and 3 other men, big old men, who are pulling out these pretty sizable logs. Oh my god, so many people calling me today. What the fuck?
You're popular, dude.
I'm at 800 numbers. Yeah, no thanks. I'd be a lonely boy instead.
Finn, you should go outside and make some friends.
Anywho, So yeah, you basically managed to help clear this rather large house. It seems to be not quite a barn-sized building, but it's pretty large for a house. It seems like it's meant for a larger family.
All right. While I'm like fixing up some stuff, I'll talk up with some people to see if they're interested, if they want me to make any paintings, if any preference things. I'll try and sell my sunset as well, but like not like bullshit.
This
I'll just be like,
impoverished people has lost everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't sell it for much anyway. I'm not like 20 gold for this painting. I'm like,
Roll
you know,
me persuade. If you're gonna try and sell it, you're gonna be rolling persuasion at disadvantage.
that's fine. That's fine. Oh well, I suck.
Yeah.
That wasn't disadvantage either. There's no red circle.
Wait, what?
You have to
Wait,
roll again. You didn't roll
I have
disadvantage.
to roll a disadvantage? Oh, I mean, this is just like a side pass. Like, if you need anything done, just let me know. Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, no one's interested in buying your painting or interested in art. Yeah, they seem to be more interested in piecing their lives back together than
Yeah,
your art.
that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that's fine. It never hurts to see if someone wants a new painting for their refurbished house. Doesn't hurt.
The house is you refurbished for they can think of decorating it.
Yeah, I mean it is a pretty badass sunset. So, but yeah.
I'm gonna go around asking people if they need help with anything too.
From a little girl.
I'm a little old girl.
All right. So Calliope, you do figure out the general features of this particular monster. What are you gonna do with that information?
Do they know what direction it went?
You could ask around.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't. No one seems to really know quite the direction it went. It seemed to have escaped without many people laying eyes on it. But luckily, one of your teammates does know where it went, so you could always ask them.
Would I know which one would probably know?
You probably saw her as you were out, because it took you and her were out and about probably around the same time, so you could have seen her running around with a map, drawing and looking down at tracks and stuff. You could probably put together that she was trying to track something. Likely this monster, so that's the only thing that would be thoughtful enough to really be tracked.
Okay, well I'll go ask if she knows where it went.
Early, you see this warrior woman, an Amazonian priestess, come up to you and ask you, "Where that boy?" Dibble. Rip Dibble. Rest in peace.
Dibble just died. When I posted the image of the creature,
I can hear you now.
Okay. I was just saying I was gonna take out the map and just point on the map where it is.
You point, and it seems that the creature escaped towards the northeast.
Well, I think that we should go find it before it comes back and ruins all this hard work we're doing.
I don't know, man. I don't really want to go.
I don't know, man.
I don't really want to go fighting. It sounds not good.
Well, no, that's why we need to stop it from coming back, and you're the one with the tracking skill, so I need your...
I already talked to the soldiers about it. They don't even want to track it.
Well, that's why we got it.
I don't know if you realize this, but I'm not that big. I'm not that strong. I'd rather not follow up some sort of scary creature into the woods.
Well, I got you covered. I'm a good fighter.
You're not gonna convince me to go in the woods.
You're not gonna get. Rapey Tony tried that once. Never again.
Phelan has warned me against people like you. I know better.
Never again.
If you want to go try and convince the guards, you can, but I'm not going to be that much help in there.
All right.
Look at Dibble letting down her teammate. Shameful.
Disappointment.
I'm a
Disappointing.
child. Just going to go back to playing with my ball cup.
All you had to do was find the monster. You didn't have to fight it.
Ball
Why do we
in
have
a
to find it? I
cup.
don't want to
All you had to
Ball
do was
in a
get
cup.
lit.
I
All you had to do was
mean,
get.
it's some
Ball
I-
in a cup.
All we
It
have
might
to do
just
is get
come
it within fighting range to it.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's a giant snake creature that's 20 feet long, and I'm sure it's that creature I posted
It's
in
not a
bullshit
snake, it
and
has
said,
feet.
It's more like a.
Snake-ish. It's like a
It's-
centipede.
It's more like it's more like a centipede than it is anything else.
Finn, can you message me if my picture is on spot or not?
If you draw something in MS Paint, I swear to God, you better not send me some MS Paint garbage.
No, it's on bullshittery. The picture. Is it?
Why
not?
can't I can either
Just
confirm
message
or
me
deny.
yay or nay. I cannot confirm nor deny that he has scales. He has 12 feet. He
It
looks like
sure
a bug.
seems accurate. I don't know, man.
It sure seems accurate. Oh god. I don't know what this is. I don't know this.
Really, you don't know what that is. You're the one that found the image. It's got the name right in the hyperlink. I don't know what that is. Yeah, sure. Sure, buddy.
Moncuz.
But yeah, that's the monster. Out of game.
Phelan's gonna look for someone that sells silver bullets.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, you do find a sketchy-looking guy in an overcoat.
Is it Rapey
Honestly.
Tony?
Not quite. He does have kind of a rapey vibe to him.
I run. I run back to my
see-
little building.
He pulls out both of his firearms and he shoots you right in the head.
Ah!
Sorry.
Oh,
That's why you don't.
God.
That's why you don't deal
Second
with
time
guns.
he's died this game.
Yeah, man. It's a tough world. He's only level 0.
Yeah, D&D on Iron Man mode.
So essentially, this will once you've gathered information. If there's anything else you wanted to do here, the rest of the days will pass entirely uneventful. Oops, excuse me. Burp. And there'll be no attacks. Won't be anything amazing or tragic. This is pretty much just some hard labor where you're just helping people out, get themselves situated.
I will use my amazing powers of art, and because nothing's gonna happen, I will use my human determination to give myself.
You don't know that
advantage.
nothing's gonna happen.
Oh, nothing. I know nothing's gonna happen, but I'm inspired by the sunsets, so
Okay.
I want to make them something Gucci. So once again, advantage with human determination.
If you use a
Boom!
trade-
Another natural
If you
one.
use a trademark label, you are now sued. How did you just get 2 crit successes on painter's tools
Yes.
in one game? Wait, why did
Yes.
you get advantage?
A
Human
human
determination.
determination.
Oh, disgusting.
I am very determined to make the most amazing sunsets.
And then try
Super
and sell
sunset.
it.
Watch now, I'll be like, now the creatures are drawn to the smell of your paints.
These
The
are old timey
creatures are gone.
paints. They're really just crushed berries. I'm attracting them.
Your
You-
paintings are so magnificent that they start glowing and attract the creature.
They act like a mirror and in fact attract the creature back to the town. No.
Alright, since that's the second day.
What are
I'll
you
roll one
painting?
more.
You're painting the sunset?
I mean, I'm painting the general background of this land. Like, is it mountainous? Is it valley-ish?
It's kind of hilly-ish. It's not much there. It's not
So
very
another-
inspiring to paint.
All right.
With these rolls, you should just be counterfeiting money.
Okay, I'll just
Forgery
call it
tools,
painting.
those are.
That'd be forgery tools and Smith's tools, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, I'm making it rain with this power of paint. All right, one more time for the third day. This time I'll draw the fireflies. Fireflies are
Right.
really bad drawings anyway.
Yeah. Still somewhat blinded by staring into the sunset on your second day. Your third try ends up a little bit mediocre.
Uh,
instead of drawing the fireflies in the night, you seem to draw something that looks more like a combination of that and the stars, and it all kind of morphs together, and it looks like a hot mess. You figure you
whatever.
might be able to sell it or gift it to someone, but not for much.
It's like that Christmas gift you give the kids you don't
like the fruitcake.
Like. Yeah, it's like a fruitcake. I mean,
Pretty
guys,
Christmas
let's be
gift
real.
you give
I
to a
have
kid you don't like?
this. Let's be real. I have triple powered, like, super painter. There's gotta be one mistake sometime.
You've just been around the paint fumes too much. Starting to hallucinate.
It's very true. Well, he's in the open air. He's probably not hallucinating too much. He's just not cutting off his own ear or anything.
Can I find fucking Leodore, the guy whose cow shed blew over? Because I'm assuming half the cows that died were his.
You do find it, and is this the fellow that you made all of the really crazy bunker type?
No, Leodore's the cow guy. I made him a cow shed and it killed his cow.
He's only the cow guy, not the rogue.
No, the rogue is back in Wolf Order.
All right. So you do find him, and you find at his house. God, more calls. What is going on there? You find his. you find his. You see one of the sheds has actually been burned down. You can see where he made like a fire stop using that shed.
Oh, nice.
Like he kind of chopped it down, and then that way it would eat up. The fire would be too busy eating up that, and then used some kind of device to cut into the grass. That way it wouldn't spread. And you see two of his sheds are still around, especially the one that you rebuilt, so that killed his cow.
Okay.
You notice the fresh splat of blood on the ceiling, where it crushed the cow.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. He don't notice it. But his house seemed to be intact. His fields and fences seem to be fine, because he was more on the western side of the area.
Out of the way then.
He was a little bit out of the way. He's more towards the middle, so some of the fire spread through the grass and ate through a bit of his fence and hit one of his barns before he was able to stop it completely. Again? Come on, dude. What is going on?
Finn! Did you get my presents? You haven't called me to thank me.
Oh my gosh. Anywho, now I'm completely thrown off. Yeah, so you can find him. He's as you're looking around and inspecting the cattle, you can see him. You didn't quite see him before because he was dealing with one of the cows. You see him stand up with some tools in hand. That looked like he was working one of the cow's hooves. Judging by the implements he's using.
So Phelan's plan was basically build shelters like for days 1 and 2, and then just before we leave on the 3rd day, build a quick cow shelter for this guy who's lost another cow shelter and a few more cows.
Okay. So you're gonna make a temporary shack for the cows?
Yeah, and I'm gonna give him a big heads up that it's only gonna last a couple of days. It's only gonna last 1d3 days. 2 days. It's gonna last.
Of course,
2 days.
you would build him a shed that would collapse after 3 days. Oh, here's a windstorm. Crunch. Goodbye, cows.
So I let him know that the shelter's not gonna last, but also it's not made out of material enough that it's gonna hurt anything if it does collapse.
Right.
It's just so that the cows aren't homeless for tonight and tomorrow.
Right, so you make a shelter. He seems to be very appreciative of it. He doesn't seem to have any ill will towards you, but he does seem to be kind of indifferent to whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I take my axe with me.
Well, yeah, of course you need to chop wood.
No, the hand axe, the combat axe, not the
I know,
chopping axe.
I'm just messing with
you. My sister doesn't trust him, I don't trust him, but I need to trust him.
Does he have a class?
Yeah, he's a lawful good rogue. He came out of retirement of doing evil rogue stuff, which is why his sister is like, oh, he's not really out of retirement. The whole cow thing's a cover-up, boys. He's gonna fucking come kill you in your sleep after you killed his cow. But then Phelan's like, but if the cow thing's a cover up, he doesn't care if the cow dies. I don't understand.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to really care about what you're doing. After you're done, he seems that doesn't really need the shelter per se. All the cows he seems to be able to kind of shove into the 2 main barns without much problem.
I have 2 nat 20 paintings.
He doesn't trust your handiwork. He doesn't want to have his cows under there.
That's the
Good
Leodore bit.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
You guys, I thought you guys resolved things.
Well, look,
Phelan and him have resolved things, but me hate him.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know if he's cool or if he's not cool.
He's lawful good. He's totally cool, dude. Totally.
Totally.
His law could be eye for an eye.
You know, if you ended your life just painting, you'd be like me rolling nat 20s and making sunsets, okay?
We get it. You're rolling that 20s in paintings. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I'll stop talking about the painting until I roll another nat 20.
Oh my fucking god.
I still can't believe how that's possible.
Calliope, please burn his fucking shit.
Calliope. What are you doing with your remaining 2 days?
I'm gonna do like some serious heavy lifting stuff.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it within visual range of those guards, and like it's like to make a point, do it intimidatingly. Yes.
With
okay.
one hand.
Roll me a strength check first of all.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Strength or like athletics?
I'll let you roll athletics. Yeah, I'll let you roll athletics.
Awesome.
Very nice. Why did you have advantage?
Oops.
Oops.
I think you rolled a 7 plus 3. You rolled a 14 first. That's fine. Yep. And roll me intimidation with advantage.
I did tell you, Boish, that intimidation is her thing. Maybe she. See, I told you.
Okay. You lift a particularly heavy log. It seemed like it was one of the big wooden beams that is used to support the 2 main walls of this house. And you managed to lift it all by yourself, even though it's a little bit burned up. This is an extremely heavy piece of wood that if someone were not strong enough or trained enough in lifting would probably hurt them incredibly. And you managed to barely drag it all the way over, right in your arms, and just drop it on the ground with a resounding thud. The main guard, the one that has the gray beard, seems kind of unimpressed at first, but one of the younger guard, that's in his late 20s, kind of gives a whistle like, that is a lot. He seems pretty impressed. The last one, he seems to be in his late 30s. He doesn't seem to really care too much. He's just watching with a kind of indifference. But they do seem somewhat impressed, like that you've managed to lift this giant log that would probably take all 3 of them to really mess with.
Nice.
Mission success. Bomb defused. You see them hug their keg in fear.
We'll get him
You
next
come
one.
and take it from them. I think we got Fainlin, Theodore, Calliope. Airly, what are you doing with your last remaining days?
I'm gonna meticulously color in that map.
Meticulously color in the map. Alrighty. Roll me a map check.
Whoop, whoop.
Alrighty. You managed to color in the map. Do you want to add more detail, like various hills and topography?
Sure.
Okay. Roll me that check with advantage, since you've already done 2/3 of the map.
Natural 20 map.
Very close. You managed to get these pretty close to how it looks. This is what you would consider a pretty high quality map. something like this is probably what they would use to print more maps of.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
I was also gonna just see if I noticed Paco again. I just want to make sure
Alright.
he's around and not running
both
around
days?
that monster.
Both
When I roll in
days?
perception? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, roll perception. Nope.
That's 1 day. That's 2 day.
Did you notice him? He seems to be perched in the burned out remains of a barn. You can see him through one of the burned out holes. You can see him, you spot him at night, and he seems to be sleeping, kind of keeping watch nearby.
Is he within telepathic speech range?
You could get up to that close with him if you wanted
Okay.
to.
I'm just gonna wake him up gently and talk to him about the spooky centipede creature and tell him to stay away from it. Tell him I'm gonna be going back soon and just follow us back. And then I'm gonna let him sleep.
He doesn't seem too convinced to leave. He wakes up,
Well,
kind of gives a few whoos, and then goes back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell him to leave. I'm trying to tell him when I leave. Like to follow the cart.
He seems like he's gonna do what he wants. Doesn't feel like he understood what you were saying, but you don't feel like he's gonna follow what you said to the letter.
They're so rebellious at this age.
He doesn't give a hoot. This is correct. He's just gonna wing it.
I'm gonna go back and go to sleep.
Yay, everybody! Does anybody want to do anything else while you're here for your 2 days?
Can I roll another natural 20?
No.
Okay.
If it's a natural 20, I'll turn it into a 1.
What? Why?
So you guys did good work. You guys head back. The travel itself is also uneventful. You do end up with 2 more carriages full of people whose homes were still lost and were not able to be rebuilt in time. A lot of other people said they're probably going to be joining the town within the next few days in order to use the hotel. Oh, rip. He did get a natural 1.
Yep.
It's as predicted.
Casually drops a thing of paint and ruins his 2 paintings.
No.
Yeah, they're all stacked around.
No, they're not. I didn't
When the
actually...
DM says you're not allowed to roll, and you roll anyway because you think you're gonna do it, and you get a nat 1.
I told you, if you roll, you're getting that 1.
You're trying to be smart.
If you roll, you're getting that 1.
No. I wanted to try my
So
calligraphy.
as you're messing about with your calligraphy,
No.
and on top of the cart, you're using this really nice paper to practice on, and it turns out that someone bumped one of the carts when they were hooking up the horse to leave, and in fact it spilled your jar of ink and ruined about half of the papers you were using.
Oh, okay. I mean, never using calligraphy tools again, that's for sure. It's like cursed. It's literally cursed.
You've only rolled it like twice.
Yeah,
Like,
but both times are garbage. Look at my
I mean, that's
painting
not a
tool.
good average. Like 2 rolls is not an average.
Well, I mean, Painter's Tools has 3 rolls and 2 nats.
Well, I mean, that's just good luck. It's a lot of averages. You gotta get some bad
Yeah.
rolls and some good rolls. But anywho, the ride back is largely uneventful. You do notice some people who are walking along the road who didn't have either left earlier or decided to hoof it on foot instead of going in the carriage. You can see they look pretty grimy. They got like ash on their face. You can see their hands. What they have on their backs is pretty minimal. There's some of them have backpacks that seem a little bit charred. Some of them have like a small cart with a mule carrying their stuff, but otherwise they seem pretty sad and not happy with life. Understandably so when your shit gets burned down. Make it back to the town, and
Does Rapey Tony come with us?
everyone is there back at the town now, and you can see that the preparations for a festival are occurring. And I will leave it there for today.
Spooky festival
For-
creator.
Fun festival times next session.
What is this festival? Do I know this?
No, they
Do
just
you
told
know
us
what the
it's gonna be a
festival is? No, it's just a festival. They're just trying to cheer up
Cheer.
people.
Oh, sorry.
They're all
I
sad
was.
because all their homes and
Can't
granddad's
wait to
burned
paint
death.
this festival next session, boys.
Why don't you write about it with clicker crystals?
No,
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 No.
it's cursed. It's completely cursed. I'm telling
never
you.
again.
See, I'm telling you, it's cursed.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I told
that
you.
is-
Listen, you
I
got
like it
two
for
20s in this game, and you got two
That
ones
is-
in this game. That's
that is
just
unlikely.
that happens.